Hey everybody, Life Without Pants with another Path of Exile video. In today's video, we're going to talk about how the league launch has gone, how our league start's been. It's been pretty good. I'm going to go through my my very early currency strats and the strats we're doing now on stream. You can check us out on twitch.tv/lifewithoutpants. So we got a few mirror shards. It's going real good right now. We've got at least 50 divines. We got a bunch of in mirror shards. We've got a bunch of chaos orbs and divine orbs. We got a lot of other stuff for sales. So spoiler alert, we made some money through expedition. But as I said in previous videos, the first thing we did was we geared up for Infinite Heist. We just jumped straight in, like we didn't finish the campaign, just jumped straight into Infinite Heist. We were running contracts again and again and again. We were essentially looking for demolition, lockpicking, and deception. Our initial plan was to go for a lot of reveals early on. Let's go and see how, and they were a little lackluster, or at least the money you got from the experimented items was a little lackluster. I just put D&D on here so people stop messaging us. So if we just take a one of this blueprint, go and check with Volcano. I think we've still got quite a few reveals. Yeah, we've got 76 left, and I think I had 90 or something like that when I started running the blueprints. We still got 9 Gianna reveals. So it was a little disappointing, to be honest. But we made a bunch of early currency very quickly. We geared up, so I got the Death Rush. Pretty much, I think that was the second thing I got after, obviously, the Diadian Dawn. We also saved up for for an Unnatural Instinct, so that we capture all these bow nodes and these nodes as well. And then we just, we tried a few reveals, a few blueprints. It didn't work out, like I said, as well as I thought it would. So we switched to just running straight into maps. And we got to maps in, I think we got to red maps in one day. So that was very good. That was when the build started feeling a little bit weak. We had to start upgrading gear. The first thing I upgraded was the gloves. And they didn't have the ignites you inflict spread to other enemies. So that we added that on eventually. I think that was only a couple of days ago. But that means you can drop ignite proliferation from your bow, which means it's much easier to color and it's much easier. You can chuck in deadly ailments alongside your. I've got GMP here because honestly I can't remember how much it costs, but I think. Let's see how much a Rain of Splinters cost. I think it was like 7 divines or something. 6.5 divines. It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I would much rather have GMP in my bow. And honestly, I don't think I need that either. You could probably swap out at this point, at this gearing point, you could probably swap out GMP for Swift Affliction or something like that, and not worry about it. So we upgraded the gloves. That's just a lot of some chaos resistance and make it easy on our resistance gearing because 43% lightning res is pretty nice. Then we got, what did we get next? I think I upgraded some stuff that I don't have anymore. But eventually we got Hiri's Ire, so that's a big damage boost. I think it was like 16 to in between 16 and 20% damage boost. We eventually got a Devouring Diadem as well, which is just really nice for quality of life. We crafted this ring. This was pretty good. So we got a T2 and T3 resistance on our flammability on hit. Then we used a couple of divines, which I think day 2 it's a big investment. Day 2 to chuck to do meta crafting on a ring. And then we unveiled, suffixes cannot be changed, hit it with a Veil Chaos Orb, and then we got Maximum Life with Regenerate Mana, and then we had to buy Elrion Jewelry. I think we got, it was only the second Elrion Jewelry, so that's pretty good, to buy to unveil the craft for non-channeling skills have -7 to total mana cost. We got some series steps just because it's a bunch of spell suppression, not going to die so much in red maps, really nice and comfy. And then we crafted our bow. You will need for this bow you need, quiver. For this quiver, you need, I think it's, I don't know what, 80 hunter quiver, broadhead, so that you get the increased attack speed, and then you just hit it with accuracy essences, which are these ones down here, the deafening essences of doubt. Essence prices right now are crazy. They're 25 chaos for an essence of horror. If you can run essences, I think you should. We're really feeling them not being on the map device this league. But just hit it with deafening essences of doubt, and you will eventually hit either damage over time multiplier with attack skills or fire damage over time multiplier with attack skills. And you get 528 accuracy, which is about as much as I think a level 20 precision. Oh, level 20 precision is 677 to accuracy. So this is, I mean, it's almost like having precision for free. Then we got Amulet, just found it on trade. We were just looking for big life, some elemental resistances, which I don't think we need anymore now. Yeah, I could actually drop the early res from this, and non-channeling skills again, because getting this down to a usable level is 32 mana right now, but we've got Devouring Diadem, so we've got Eldritch Battery, which means that our energy shield covers our mana instead, and you pay for totems with mana. It's super comfortable now. It was a little bit janky before, but the bow as well. I sold my original bow, but this is just a regular bow that you like. Get a thicket bow base because it's low dex, or short bow. It's up to you. Whatever you can get. I think first of all I bought porcupine cards like most people, and got a 6-link short bow. Then I colored it using, I think I used the Verici color calculator. This is really this tool is really, really good because you can say, oh, I've got 6 sockets. Requirements are 197 dex, which I think is this. Oh no, it's probably this. Yeah, so this is for the Hero's Eye. These mods. And I want 4 green and 2 blue. And you just hit this and it says, oh, this is the average cost, the success chance, and the average attempts, etc., etc., etc. So you can just say, oh, what is the cheapest cost? And basically, you know that, oh, for this requirement of dexterity, if you want 2 blue, the easiest way is to hit it with around 20 chromes. Maybe it's going to be, if you put in, like, I don't know, 1, whoops, that's too many. If we put in 3 here and 2 here, oh, maybe just 1 actually, because that makes 6. Quick maths. Then it says, oh, you can do chromatics, or Verici 1 red is probably easier. And if we do 3 blue, then it's just definitely, Verici, the Verici 1 blue will actually only cost you 126 chromes. But obviously Verici 3 blue is 189. That's weird. I'm pretty sure it's cheaper than that. Anyway, it's a really, really useful tool. I use it all the time, especially at League launch when you're trying to color something very, very cheap. I've got 500 chromes now, so it's not an issue. But at the League launch, it very much is. So anyway, that's how we progressed our gear. I believe I still have the same crappy Diadian Dawn I bought at the beginning. I haven't even bothered to get it to 35 strength with some Blessed Orbs. And as far as jewels go, we got a few. The main the main investment, I think, I just looked for percent increased max life, fire damage or burning damage, and then attack speed. And we got that pretty early on for both of those. And then obviously a Sleepless Sentries and one other notable on our medium cluster totem damage. We got a Sleepless Sentries pretty early on. I mean, we got the jewel pretty early on, and then rolled Sleepless Sentries on it ourselves because it's like, I don't know, a divine extra if you want to buy it with Sleepless Sentries, and it costs you around 30 chaos worth of alterations. So in my mind, it's much cheaper. Like that kind of price difference, it's way cheaper to run it yourself. And again, yeah, so I got another one here with just attack speed, burning damage, and max life, and that's more than enough. This tree's a very decent tree. I'm not going to change this for a while, and that's how we start off with Infinite Heist. Then we started once we got into maps. then let's have a look at our, we were going for a grand design to start off with. So at the beginning, I think I didn't have this on here. I didn't have this and these, but I had some harvest. We had, big chance to contain the Sacred Grove. I didn't bother with this expedition wheel because I didn't think it was very good. We came down here. I think we took Jun actually as well, because I do like Jun. I've made a lot of money out of Betrayal in every league that I've done, so I almost always have that on. We also had, we had Essence on as well. This is what, 130 out of 132 nodes, so it wasn't this much. It wasn't this crazy. I think maybe we didn't have that on either. So we started with something a little like this. Oh, obviously we had this Heart of the Grove on as well. And we then progressed into, basically from here, we just spec'd purely into Grand Design, and I think this was our tree actually. It was, this was our tree. So we had Grand Design, we had 41% increased pack size from notables. So Grand Design, if you don't know, small Atlas passive skills grant nothing, and your maps have 1% increased pack size per allocated notable passive skill. So we took Grand Design, we started running Misa with Eater of Worlds influence, and I think I started off with polished expedition scarabs, and then moved on to gilded not long afterwards. So this would have been day 3, I think, day 3/day 4. And what day is it now? Day 5? Let's say it's day 5. Or maybe it's day 5.5. It's day 5.5 right now. So yeah, day 3, we moved into Grand Design, or day 2.5 to 3 Grand Design, and it started. I mean, it's a lot of money. You get a lot of money out. You pull a lot of money out in logbooks. You pull a lot of money out in Ickers from Eater of Worlds. You pull a lot of money out in the reroll currencies, the vendor reroll currencies. Some maps we will come out with, and you get a lot of Ickers and Embers as well. So if we look here, I've got, this is just left over from the ones I've already sold. So we've got 103 lesser, 41 greater, and 14 grand. And it's a lot of money, but it's really annoying. Oh god, it's because you have to trade so much. You have to go and buy gilded scarabs, and you have to go and do this and that and set everything up. I didn't like it. I don't like it. So after a while, we stopped doing that because it wasn't fun. So, and you should, the idea is to have fun. We made quite a bit of cash doing that. I think I would say the first mirror shard or 2, the first mirror shard for sure. And the first mirror shard I actually got from just randomly spamming not ROG rerolls, Tujin rerolls. So I just came over to Tujin. I was like, Tujin, mate, sort me out. And he had, I almost rolled over it as well because I've never seen a mirror shard in Tujin before. I was like, well, what's that? That's weird. That looks weird. I don't deal in mirror shards enough to know what they look like instinctively. So yeah, we started doing Grand Design. It pay you can still make a lot of money this way. You can still make loads and loads of cash. I believe the scarabs, the Grand Design expedition, or the gilded scarabs, if you have 20 of them, then they're 13 chaos each. It's a little pricey, honestly. I have, and then if you buy the polished ones are 8 in bulk. I would say that's worth it. I would say that's absolutely worth it, because based on how much money you get out of it, I would say that's definitely worth it. And rusted in bulk are 3. Yeah, that's definitely worth it too. So the rusted ones, I would go, if you're going to do Grand Design, I would recommend you take rusted or polished. Gilded Expedition, I think, is only worth it if you're running, if you have these things here. Your maps contain 100% increased number of runic monster marker charged compasses on your void stones. That's when you're really, really pumping expedition strat. And yeah, like I said, it was a little bit, you have to get everything right, and it takes a really long time to do, and I didn't like it. So we swapped. We swapped into, I was watching Tuna stream, shout out to Tuna, he's great. And he was running something that looks like this. Maybe he still is. You should go and check out Tuna's stream if you haven't. It's fantastic. It's a nice place to be. And amazing music. And basically he was slamming Grand Design. I was empathizing a little bit with that line of thought. And he had taken Eater of Worlds. Searing Exarch rather. The Bernie Boy, and just running Fortune Favors Brave. And that's what you do in when you're running the strat I was doing. You were running Fortune Favors Brave, and you were running Eater of Worlds. And I was just like, I don't want to, like, I want pack size. Pack size is great because you can get so much, you make so much more money when you have so much more pack size. It's insane how much money you make when you have so much pack size, because it scales the league mechanics. So it scales like Expedition, that kind of stuff. If you get 100% increased pack size in Expedition, then you get 100% of the number of runic monsters. So that's 100% more logbooks. So he was running basically a very similar tree to us in that, like a very similar focus, I should say, on what was important. So just taking the expedition wheel, obviously this one again doesn't matter because this is detonation changing your maps travel 5% slower. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want it to go fast. I want the money now, please. So so I swapped into this tree, and I can show you a little bit what it looks like. So you basically roll your maps. I've never actually used Chaos for this before, but you roll your maps to have pack size 20% plus, and then you just vol them all like this. And I just say they're all corrupted. Yeah, and then inevitably you get, oh, one of them's not corrupted. Inevitably you get something that is a Vol Temple. That's fine. I'm saving all my un-ID'd ones for later. Oops. So I'm just taking these ones out. But here we got, 14 maps, very, very easy. And I think the most important thing here, actually we can just swap to the in-game tree, is this node here, so Growing Hordes. And this gives you 5% increased pack size per rusted scarab. And also scarabs don't do what they would normally do. So for this, and this is the Eater of Worlds, so the altars. We've got to talk about the altars very quickly. The Eater of Worlds altars have some good things on them, and they have the Divine Shrine as well. So if you've seen like a streamer, I think Firegrass got it really early on. Like you can get a 4% chance for Eldritch minions to drop a Divine Orb, and then you can pull out 17 Divines from one of your maps if you get it at the beginning. If you don't get it at the beginning, you get it last, and you get none. You're gonna cry. I would cry. And the Bernie Boy, the Searing Exarch, he has just lots of other decent stuff. And the most important thing, he has mapping supplies. So chisels, vials, bindings, scours, orbs of unmaking. They're all here. They're all in the altars for the Burning Boy. They all drop those things. For the Searing for the Eater of Worlds, they do not drop those things. So for me, it was clear what I wanted to do. As soon as I found that out, I was like, well, I hate trading unless people are giving me money for things I am selling. So like buying chisels now is a nightmare, honestly. You have to travel down like 3 pages in Path of Exile trade website to get to people actually selling chisels. They're very expensive. If you have a lot of chisels, you should sell them. Sell them to somebody like me. So I ran an experiment yesterday for just over 12 maps. Just like experiment is a strong word, but just logging how many chisels, vals, scours, etc. we started with, and how many we ended our 12 map run with. And it was really, really close. I think we were down 20 chisels, which is like 4 maps. So I don't think I'm going to have to buy chisels anytime soon, really looking forward to that. But this is like, let's just have a look at what this strategy looks like. I'm just going to throw this in here. So the only things you have to do is roll your map, chuck in some garbage scarabs. Honestly, the cheaper the better, because these they don't do anything other than contribute pack size for the rusted, gilded, polish, or whatever. If you, I would recommend just taking the polished ones. You don't need much else. So you just have Fortune Favors the Brave on. You have Searing Exarch selected, and then whatever sextants you roll, you roll. It doesn't matter, you know, if he dies, he dies. And you just run in, and you complete the map, and you will proc the influence relatively quickly. So let's just jump through here. And obviously, League mechanics take away from proccing the influence. So here's the influence, just straight away. And we can choose between div cards which drop a unique weapon, which is not that great, or quantity and rarity. And obviously that is amazing. We've also got singular focus, I believe it is. Is it this one? Yeah, singular focus. So we just, I've only got strand and one connected map favorited. So that means, because if you don't have the favorited, the connected map favorited, then I think we have such a huge amount of possibilities from the Atlas passive tree for a connected map to drop. That obviously having just one favorite on the connected maps is really, really important. And what's this? I think it's some garbage uniques, but you just run through here, and I think it's 1 in 2 you get an expedition, something like that. And that's basically it. There's I think I've even got a fractured shard from the Harbies. You get ritual a decent amount as well. It offers me mortal grief and mortal shards all the time for some reason. It seems to be the main thing it offers me. We've got a 6 link. There's 20 fusings. I have been largely ignoring the League mechanic because it's just constantly just sucked in. It's at the moment it's a little more annoying than anything else. Oh, there's we get a little bit of chance to. I think I have like a 1% chance to drop an item with Searing Exarch influence already on it. I don't think those items are worth anything unless it's maybe +1 strike gloves. I mean, I know that Lightning Strike used to pay 1 divine on the first day for +1 strike gloves. But yeah, this is what the mapping looks like, and honestly, this map's a little underwhelming. So some maps you can pull out a divine easy in just stuff, and it's largely pretty liquid currencies. So either logbooks, reroll currencies for logbooks. I personally use all of the reroll currencies except for Tujin, which I sell. Despite the fact that I got a mirror shard very early on with Tujin, it has not biased me towards just only running Tujin. Which, I mean, it's something that I would have thought would happen to me, but it hasn't, because the amount of money you can get out of Tujin is... Oh, we got a... Nice. The amount of money you can get out of Tujin is quite high. But yeah, it's not for me. And this is just a much more relaxed farm. There's less micromanagement, and it just makes me feel it's a lot more fun, and the game should be fun. Like I said, it's absolutely, you got to prioritize fun. Maybe this Ventus is going to be really good. The other thing, and we went from I think it was like 7,500 chaos according to Excellence Next to 12,500 in one day yesterday, just running this farm. So that's like 5,000 chaos. So it was basically 3 mirror shards ish. To do this just for a day, and that's pretty good. It's pretty good returns, and the logbooks they always sell. It's stuff that is gonna have value for a long time. Also, obviously, you want to have a good loot filter. I have these dump tabs here set up. So basically, the 50 chaos one is my mapping dump tab. So I just chuck stuff in here as soon as I find it, and then I reduce the price over time. And I cannot tell you how much money I must have made from flasks. It's crazy. So you see here, flask on my loop filter, and I just chuck this in here. I go into, I get some transmutes, and then I do norm, and just do boop. And this, sometimes people ping me for the 50 chaos ones, and that's obviously ridiculous. But some people just really don't want to roll flasks. I totally get it. I kind of don't want to roll flasks either, but I always do. But then once these get down to 30, 36, like some people will ping me when it's 36 chaos or 35 or whatever I have it set at. And then the same is true for, you know, the one in the 20s, the one in the 10s. And the most I get obviously is for the stuff in the 3 chaos tab, because these are generally high-ish eye level flasks. And some of the things that they roll on are pretty good. And after a while I just vendor them. And then I just clean out this tab. So today, probably later on today, this will be full, and I will vendor everything in here. I wouldn't leave a map for 3 chaos, but I'd leave a map for 15 though. My map portals don't really cost that much. It's, you know, 4 trash scarabs and chisels, alk and val, and a map, and that's it. And with streamer content, singular focus, and this many map slots, favorite slots, we're easily sustaining, by far. So that's basically how we made all our money. What's next? I don't know. I'm thinking EK Ignite. I don't know if we're gonna do that, but that seems like a good idea for what's next. I'll see what's around. I think I've still got some, maybe I might do some crafting. I've made stuff like this ring. It's pretty nice. I think probably not worth 8 divines, but and this, oh man, I still haven't sold it. I dropped this like as soon as I did Squidward and the Bernie Boy. I dropped one of these. It was 9 divines. Nobody's bought it, and then everybody put theirs at 8, and then eventually the price went down to 7. I kept dropping mine, and I bet now there's like, yeah, 1.5. Oh, terrible. Anyway, that's it from me. Drop by the stream, twitch.tv/lifewithoutpants. I'd love to see you there. We're having a lot of fun. I think this is the best league start I've done so far, by far. And there's a few things I would change. I would, do differently next time. I think next time, if the Atlas stays the way it is now, with the passives and stuff like that, then next time there is no way on God's green earth that I'm doing grand designs again. It's so painful. All the micromanagement and all the buying the mapping supplies. God, I don't like it. And I didn't even have to buy that many. There are, you could be buying loads more, but yeah, would not recommend. I think maybe it might be interesting to do growing hordes and grand designs at the same time. I think that could be interesting. And I'm not going to do it, but I think it could be interesting. Maybe that's like a week 2 strat or something like that. Or once we got a much better character, because then you got some like insane pack size. Because you can chuck in, I think you can put in some very, very decent polished scarabs. Like there's cheap polished scarabs. You could get 40% pack size. I swear polish was 7% yesterday. Oh, maybe it's just 7% on PoE Planner. It is. Okay, so PoE Planner is wrong. Good to know. But yeah, you could get like, 140% probably pack size, or 130 pretty easily, I think, with that. So that could be an interesting strat. And again, I'm not going to do it. Not until at least week 2, and we've re-rolled into a new build. But I think this is one of those leagues where I think this build has limited time left with us. Oh, one thing I did change about my links is that I put item rarity support on my Frenzy Culling Strike. So when I see what is it? The Beyond bosses. I just cull them, and then more frequently than, way more frequently than before, they now drop tainted fusings, and they're like 30 chaos each. So that's really nice. I think I made at least a divine doing that. So that's a pretty niche use for those. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you're kind to everyone you meet. I love it all very much. And this is a really long video now, so I'll see you next time. Cheers.